Hey everyone, today I'm doing a review over the dialed Arxos bow sight. So this is kind of one of the newer bow sights to hit the market. It's pretty customizable, has some really good features about it. So let's jump in, do a review, how to level this sight, and I'll tell you about the good and the bad. So I'm going to go ahead and get this mounted up and we'll level it up. On this bow sight, you can't actually move the rail. So what you're going to do is you're going to level your scope housing to your rail. That's going to be the most accurate. You could level up your string and level your sight to the string, but since this is already set, you're going to set your scope housing to your rail. So that way they are both leveled together. Leave a detail in the comments if you'd do it some other way, but that's the way I would do it, so that way they move together. And you're going to adjust this by loosening up these two screws, and then you'll grab this and get it leveled here. So I'm going to grab an Allen wrench and show you how to do it. Got the two screws loosened up here, got the Allen wrench in, and go ahead and get it leveled. Okay, so got it leveled there, and the rail is level. So now I will tighten those two bolts up right there, back up. So you tighten this one and then that one. The bottom one is where you get most of your adjustment, so you're going to want to get this somewhat loose, but then kind of tighten that one before you really tighten it. Now I'm ready to set my third axis on the dialed sight here. So what I'll do is put a bow level here onto my riser, or just any flat level spot on your bow. Get that leveled, and then you will angle your bow, so then that way you can see if your bubble is still level as it's angled. Probably a little bit more accurate way would be to take this Hamskea Gen 2 level and put this onto your riser, and then attach the vertical pins here, and then find a plumb door jamb or take a level and draw a line and draw your bow back and hold this tip to this tip right onto that line, and then check your level and see if the bubble is off one way or another, and then adjust it, and then go ahead and draw back again and get it until you're level there. After you do that, you're probably going to want to take it out in the field, draw a vertical level line on the target, shoot downhill or uphill or both. Both would be the best, just to make sure, and make sure you're not hitting left or right. But anyway, just for demonstration purposes, this will get you close, but either way I'd still shoot them in both ways. So I've got my bow in the vise here, I've got it tilted, got the level set up here, and now I'll show you how to adjust the third axis. So to move your third axis, you're going to want to loosen that screw, and then there's a set screw here and on the other side. And then you will move those two to get it set where it's level, and then tighten that back up. I'll show you actually moving this to get it locked in. so now it's pretty good there. So now I'll go ahead and tighten this top screw back up. Alright, so now our third axis is set. Alright, so that should get you close. Now I would shoot that in. Now I'm going to just go over some of the features here on this sight. So it has a sight brake here. Like I said earlier, you can move the sight tape from this side to the outside or inside, whichever you prefer. This is your elevation indicator. You have your windage here, so you can move it left or right. You can switch out other scope housings by just removing that screw, but if you do go to different brands, you have to get the adapter. You have the sight light, so this just moves how much light will get to your pins. I'll either dim your pins, so you can dim your pins here, or you can brighten them up. Then you have your top level here, which I actually kind of don't mind that. Alright, so now I'm going to go over what I like and don't like about the sight and give it my honest review. So my honest opinion of this sight is there's some good things and some bad things, but I'll go over what I like and don't like. I do like that you can switch this tape from the inside or outside, so whichever one you prefer, this sight will work for you. You can get a positive stop at 20 or whatever your 0 is, so that is nice. You do have a sight brake, so it makes it a little bit tougher, and honestly, really, it's hard to actually get this to catch on something to move it. It's easy to swap sight houses as long as they are a dialed scope. You just have to loosen this screw up here and you can remove it. I do like the 3 vertical pins, and then you can also make your pins brighter or dimmer by moving the sunshade at the top. And then you can also have the triple indicators here as well, so that is nice. But overall, I think there's more bad features than good features, and I will show you. So there's no actual lock to your elevation. It's just a brake, so you can still move it either way. And there is a little bit of play in this dial just itself. You can loosen up the tension with these 2 Allen screws, but if you do too much, then it's going to just move too easy. So it's kind of hard to get that perfect. It does move a little hard, but I'd kind of rather have it a little harder to move than it moving on its own. So the second and third axis, it doesn't have first axis adjustment, but they are one of the worst ones that I've found to get set. So your second axis is this screw, and then this bottom screw, which is slotted, so you can move it left or right there to get your second axis set. You actually have to go all the way out to get to the 2 little Allen screws to adjust your third axis. I really just don't like that, because then you're moving your elevation or your windage just to get to those to get it set. So that's one thing I don't like. The 3 pins are set, so if you're at 20, 35, and 45, you can't move your second or third pin. You can only set either your first, second, or third pin, and then the other ones are where they're going to be. These sight tapes are actually fairly easy to break, so you have to be careful with those. And then the other thing, you actually have to set your elevation before you set your axis. So for me, I just don't like that, because I could move my third and second axis and it might be a little bit off. So that's one thing, but you can kind of move your sight tape to make up for it a little bit. You can change out these dials to whatever different color you want to match your bow, so that is one good thing. But overall, there's more bad than good with this sight. I feel like I just don't trust it for hunting, I guess, and being durable and not having any problems. I've just heard of people having a couple issues with them, and after setting one up myself, I don't think I'd run the site personally, but those are just my personal opinions on it. Anyway, if you found this to be helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you watching, and as always, stay hidden.